Hey, what is up, spiritual hooligan? Does happiness create more money? This is the question that I want to take you through today, and we want to look at it from an enlightened perspective and recontextualize what's going on. Because how come you're being a good person doesn't cause you to make all the money that you want to make? Why do our teachers all tell us that you got to be happy and positive and cheerful, and those are the things that are somehow connected to money? And I have a feeling you're a good person, that you are committed to being a good citizen, and yet I'm positive that you are not experiencing the quantum leaps in your money making that I know you want. I know who you are. You're a high conscious go-getter. You want to have a kick-ass life, make a ton of money, have tons of success, and simultaneously be at peace. Why are those two things not correlated? My name is Matthew Ferry, and I'm bringing you your daily enlightenment. It's your moment to pause, to slow down, and to get connected to enlightened perspectives. I want to help you to quiet your mind and restore your peace. Money making and happiness, are they correlated? What's going on here? Well, what I want to do is I want to actually get you to start to shift your thinking into two domains. I want you to think about the ability to act and the skill to act. And today what we're going to talk about is high consciousness, which leads to happiness, and how that then invokes or enables your ability to act. So in some way, I'm just going to give you the booby prize right off the bat, and then you can stop immediately if you want. Happiness does not create more money. But what happiness does do is it gives you the flexibility and the reasonableness and the logic to take the actions that would create more money. So let me take you through my thinking on this, okay? Let's start with this idea that I really want you to start to align your language with high consciousness. At higher levels of consciousness, happiness is guaranteed. And anything other than happiness and peace really is just your survival mind kicking in. My mentor, Stephen Sadleir, used to say anything that other than happiness and peace is just a state of mind. And I think that that's pretty darn close. Frustration, agitation, fear, doubt, uncertainty, anger, basically any negative feeling is a sign that you have activated a survival response. And there's something that you're aligning with that is degrading you, and the degradingness actually causes the mind to talk, causes the mind to go into a survival state. So in the most extreme cases, aligning with negativity can make you sick, and we see that, right? We see people with cancer heal themselves, and they heal themselves through a regime of, so like purifying the body. But they're not just purifying the body, they're purifying the body, and they're purifying their mind. Now, from my point of view, the valuable thing about tuning into the daily enlightenment and taking on the rapid enlightenment process is your affiliation with high conscious information. The more you interact with high conscious information, the easier it is for you to keep your consciousness up. This is why we gather. So you come to the Epic Life Live, you join the mastermind, you be a part of the group because you want to affiliate with other people who are taking this stuff on. They're committed to being badasses. They're committed to making a lot of money. They're committed to living big lives, having great relationships. They're committed to having an extraordinary relationship with their body and be an enlightened master in the process. That's not normal. I just want you to know. That's not normal. There's not a lot of people out there in the world like that, but that's you. That's what you're all about. So the more you interact with high conscious people, the easier it is for you to maintain your consciousness. The more you interact with low conscious people, the harder it is to maintain your high consciousness. So the question I have for you is, what does it even mean to be high conscious? Because we're trying to tie together this idea of happiness and money making, right? So we're pulling it apart. I'm taking a step back and I'm saying that at high levels of consciousness, happiness is guaranteed. But we need to go into this idea. What does that even mean, high levels of consciousness? Dr. Hawkins, in his work, he measured consciousness, so it would be beneficial to look at his level of consciousness chart. But for me, high consciousness means that you're able to choose what you're thinking. So you're not being a puppet to the drunk monkey in your head. You have the ability to move forward and go towards the things that you want. You're not running away from stuff. You accept yourself, you accept others, and you accept situations. You have an inner knowing that all is perfect. You're trusting that everything is going your way. This is what I'm talking about. This is what it means to be a high conscious person. So then the question becomes, well, what's the benefit of this high consciousness? And it's just real simple. You're aware and unaffected by what you're aware of. So you're aware negative, degrading stuff is going on out there in the world. Your awareness makes you unaffected by that. You're not offendable. You have a feeling of connection, of oneness. And there's this incredible acceleration of manifestation. So this is where people get confused. They go, okay, well, if I raise my consciousness, I'm happier. And because when I'm happy, things function, I'm noticing I'm making more money. So then they correlate. Oh, does happiness cause making more money? I still say no. But what I will say, and you have to remember this is after thousands and thousands of coaching calls that I've done. Thousands. I have been coaching people for 26 years. After doing thousands of coaching calls, I will tell you that as you raise your consciousness, you become more organizing, meaning there's something about who you are that is more logical and reasonable. You're thinking more clearly, you're less emotional and getting offended and getting into negative states. So you have a higher propensity for creating intelligent, organized things around you, which of course has an effect on your ability to do money-making things. But the world is not really designed for happiness, and that's important to know. So you have to learn how to deal with the various influences that degrade your happiness. So people ask me, okay, well, what are the things that degrade my consciousness and therefore my happiness? And some people say, well, is it that I'm like committed to things and doing things that I don't really want to do, but I do it out of guilt and obligation? Kinda. Is it that I'm trying to fit in? Maybe. Is it that I'm being around people that don't share my values and thoughts and they're degrading me? Not really. All of those are the result of an ineffective context. And when I say ineffective, I don't mean like right or wrong. I just mean a context that produces those kinds of results. So as a long-time student of personal development, I can tell you that the context that you're holding will determine the happiness that you have. The happiness that you have will give you the capability of taking on things that you might suck at. And guess what? Money making might be something that you suck at. As long as you understand the skills of happiness, you could stay happy 98, 99% of the time, which is not bad. So I want you to think about this. The more you accept, the less you resist. The less you resist, the happier you are. The happier you are, the easier it is to express, create, think, etc. So when you're happy, guess what? You're more resourceful. You're more creative. You're easier to deal with. And that gives you an unbelievable strategic advantage in your life. Success, money making, is much easier when you're happy. It's easier. But that doesn't mean that your happiness makes you more effective, okay? If you suck at stuff, you suck at stuff. It simply means that your ability to be effective is enhanced because you're not in a state of resistance. Look, many of the people who tune into the Daily Enlightenment, that read my book, that come to the Epic Life Live, they're in the mastermind. They began this journey of towards enlightened prosperity, believing that if they could just understand spiritual principles better, they would be more successful. They'd be able to succeed. But you know what? It's not true. Spiritual principles only affect your attitude, your context about what you do. Spiritual principles are your relationship to the thing, relationship to money, relationship to people, relationship to the disciplines, relationship to the activities. Spiritual principles only affect your relationship to it, your context. You still need to develop the skills to achieve your goals. You still, like, if money making is an objective for you, I just want you to look around and you'll see that unbelievably negative, angry, mad, upset, grudge-filled, backstabbing people are making hordes of money. And that's because making money is a system. Making money is a system. It has nothing to do with your attitude. Now, for you, that's a little bit of a problem, right? Because for you, your context, the feeling state that you're in is your highest priority. And if you don't think it is, I'm calling BS on you. You would not be tuning into the Daily Enlightenment unless this was like the thing for you. Like, this is it. You want to feel this way. So it's a problem, because oftentimes how you feel will take you off of your game. You can't do things and feel terrible. It's just not your deal. So you still need to set up real world structures to make things happen, like systems and procedures and processes and workflows. In the case of money, you need some kind of exchange, some kind of system for exchange. Maybe it's also some kind of a spread, or right. It's about relationship, who you know and who trusts you, etc. You still need integrity. You still need accountability and monitoring. You need all the tools to make success happen, right? A lot of times people they get confused. They're like, well, wait a second, you need integrity? But you just told me that these people who are, backstabbing, jackass, these negative people, how could they have integrity? No. Maybe they don't have integrity as a person, but the system that they build has integrity, meaning it works, it functions. Their relationship to the world is irrelevant. That's just about their experience. So you're going to need integrity, accountability, monitoring, all of that to make your success happen. Thinking clearly with no resistance to anything gives you a huge advantage. You, not everybody, gives you a huge advantage. And it speeds up the process of success. When you enter into a state of no resistance, everything in your life feels like it's speeding up. The right people just seem to appear out of nowhere. The right tools seem to fall in your lap. But the next step just sort of goes, hey, here's what it does. It reveals itself quicker. But the thing to remember is that if you haven't developed the skill, the system, the procedure to build this future that you want, right? If you don't have the help, the support, the tools, the next steps, all of that stuff, well, really, what you want is probably not gonna turn out. But guess what? That's just called learning, right? It's like you are this attractive character because you're happy and peaceful and joyful. So things come to you, opportunities come your way much easier. You get what you need, but you don't know how to utilize it because you thought, oh, I'm just going to be a spiritual person. I'm not going to necessarily take on the skill set. Stupid, but that's okay. I fell into it too. We all do. So you now have to learn how to utilize the stuff that you are pulling into your life. You fail, and guess what? You learn, and then you start the process again more intelligently. That's just learning. The skills that we're working on in the Rapid Enlightenment process help you to go through this learning process much faster, with more ease and with more grace, because there's less resistance. So that means that the breakdowns happen for shorter periods, the breakthroughs happen faster. There's less frustration and there's more joy, but it doesn't mean that it's all working out, okay? It doesn't mean that. I'm not teaching you how to make money, but you know what I am teaching you? I'm teaching you how to open yourself up to use an enlightened framework to have a life of enlightened prosperity. So I want you to leave me a comment below. I want to hear what you're thinking about this idea that, does happiness and money, are they related? Like, if you're happy, can you create more money? I say no. I say that the happiness just gives you the ability to go through the process of setting up the systems without the negativity and the frustration and anger. But it doesn't necessarily make you more systematic or make you more skilled or create the system for making money. It doesn't do that. But what are your thoughts? I want to know what you're thinking. Leave me a message. And while you're at it, look, like this Daily Enlightenment. Come on, you've listened to it, watched it all the way through. Like it, share it with the people that you think this would make a difference for. Subscribe to my channel. I put out a Daily Enlightenment. I used to do it every single day, but right now I've decided I'm going to give myself a break. I'm just doing it once a week. Hey, you watched it all the way through. Now you're up to date, okay? So Daily Enlightenment comes out on a regular basis. I'd love for it to pop up in your inbox, but here's the thing you need to know. On YouTube, you got to press the bell button because that then sends you a notification when I've created a new one, and I'm staggering them now, so you'll want to get those notifications. My name is Matthew Ferry, and I'm the author of Quiet Mind, Epic Life. I don't have a book on my desk to show you. Thank you so much for tuning in to this Daily Enlightenment.